Hi everyone, welcome to Fine Wine of the Old World. Today I'd like to talk to you about Sauvignon Blanc. In my glass today there is the Sauvignon Blanc from Pfalz region in Germany. The bottle. My first experience with Sauvignon Blanc was, I don't know, I actually don't know what to say. There was the notes that I just couldn't identify, and that was making me really angry. And then sommelier, he was like, "No, this is nettle." so now I know how the nettle smells like in Sauvignon Blanc. But we will talk about the green notes just now. Firstly, I just wanted to mention that instead of Sauvignon Blanc, there are plenty of other names. Like honestly, plenty other names for Sauvignon Blanc. And for example, Feigentraube, Muscat Sylvaner, Pellegrina, Petit Sauvignon, or Picobon. The origin of this wine is Loire Valley and also the Bordeaux region. I'll show you on the map so I don't need to mispronounce the French names and offend anybody. Sorry. We haven't yet spoken about the phylloxera infestation, and I think this is the good moment to actually speak about it, because phylloxera, it was a plague of this insect pest that was eating the roots of the vine, and that caused people from the old world destroying their harvest, their plants, and then plenty of those noble grapes, they were moved into the New World. So, for example, when it comes to Sauvignon Blanc, it's widely grown in Chile. So yeah, for the phylloxera, we still have no cure. The only way that we can make sure we don't get phylloxera plagues anymore is to use the American rootstock and then graft into our European Vitis vinifera. So in late 1800, a lot of people lost their heritage and the world ran into deficit of wine. So that was a very sad story, and over 50% of the wine produced in Europe was destroyed. Sauvignon Blanc is widely grown grape, and this grape you can find in Germany, you can find, as I said, in France, you can also find it in Austria, Moldova, Italy, Spain, or Bulgaria. So after the short introduction to the grape variety, I would like to go through some wine characteristics. So I'm going to hopefully you also have your Sauvignon Blanc ready, and then we can take the first sniff. So again, we're going to swirl it. And firstly, yeah, of course, I forgot about this. So as you can see, Sauvignon Blanc indicates that it is the white wine, and it most likely comes from word sauvage, which is wild, and then blanc as a blanc, which is white. As I already mentioned the nettle, I wanted to say that the main characteristics for Sauvignon Blanc is the green notes, and it can be the green bell pepper, it can be asparagus, it can be grass. So yeah, I can tell you already. I definitely smell this green bell pepper, and it is actually very noticeable. And also this green pepper you will notice in our Cabernet Sauvignon that we'll talk next time. The green notes come from methoxypyrazines that are that are found in the skin and stems. And you can also call this, when you sometimes hear people calling it that it smells of cat pee, so don't get surprised. So that's our Sauvignon Blanc. From what I'm saying already, probably not plenty of you would like it, but trust me, it is such a nice wine. And despite those green notes, it actually makes it even more special, and I think you should definitely try it, especially during the summertime. It is a perfectly refreshing wine. Again, depending on the climate, you can have very grassy, very green notes, very herbaceous and vegetal notes. But if you grow it in the warmer climate, you would get more tropical fruit. And it's interesting because I can definitely smell some tropical fruit. Normally you would get the most significant notes would be the green apple, would be lemon, but when it comes to the warmer climate, as I said, you get those tropical fruit, but you also run into the risk that your wine may lose your crispiness, so the acidity, and that would be, again, the wine would feel flat and wouldn't have plenty of aromas left, and would have some stone fruit notes, but nothing really spectacular. So when it comes to the Sauvignon Blanc, you would not really want to age it, as aging makes the wine having even greener notes and have some asparagus in it. So as much as I love asparagus, I don't necessarily need it in my wine. Again, as we've discussed it before, the malolactic fermentation is not as desired in the white wines, because you want to have this crispiness and this tart, and you want to maintain the acidity sharp. So normally the winemakers would not go for malolactic fermentation, and the winemakers normally would use stainless steel tanks rather than the oak barrels. After smelling our Sauvignon Blanc, I would like to have a sip now, and let's assess the sweetness, acidity, and obviously tannins would not be here, at least not many, as this is the white wine, but we can also talk about the alcohol and body. So let me have a sip. Oh, by the way, yeah, again, I forgot. Cheers! Okay, so I can tell you that my wine is definitely dry. When it comes to the acidity, it's very high. And also, when it comes to alcohol, I would say it's a medium level, and body is light, definitely light body. So this Sauvignon Blanc could be either dry and sweet, but I think normally winemakers make it dry rather than sweeter. I think also good for you would be to know that there are two wines worth remembering, which is Sancerre, and that wine is normally medium body dry wine with some grassy notes and some green apple flavors to it, and it's very, very famous. And also we have this other wine, which is Sauternes, and this wine is actually a blend of different grapes, and for example Muscadel or Semillon, and this wine is made of the grapes affected by botrytis, so that's why they make it very sweet. Lastly, I would like to talk to you about the food pairing. So when it comes to Sauvignon Blanc, it actually goes really well with sushi, but also with chicken, turkey, crab or lobster, so all the seafood. But also for me, as I am not the biggest fan of fish or seafood, for me it's very important that I can drink it with the goat cheese or burrata. And I just wanted to remind you, so again, we do not age Sauvignon Blanc. You don't want to do this. So drink your wine as soon as you get it and don't keep it for longer than 5 years. And then I will talk to you about the Cabernet Sauvignon in the next episode. So I hope you also enjoy it and have a nice day, have a nice evening, and have a nice Sauvignon Blanc.